Hello, everybody, and welcome to Roll20 Presents The Burning Wheel. We're back. The hot circle turns once more. Welcome back, everybody. Elf, you're very excited about this. We're glad to have you back.
I've been away for 2 weeks. It feels like forever.
I know. It does feel like forever. I was really sick, and then everything was just out of control, and then you weren't around. I blame Christmas.
I blame December. Yeah,
that's
what I blame too.
It happens. I think we had similar stuff going on last year. So yeah, we did a little microscope game in the interim. There was a really good clip from that making the rounds called "Andrew Saves Christmas from the Fascists," which made me really happy.
I saw that.
So that's what we've been up to. How have you been? I saw you playing some Baldur's Gate.
So my Christmas was like I went to Montreal to visit my parents, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of like family stuff there. I went to the best LARP store in the whole universe.
I saw a picture of your best LARP store in the universe.
I don't know if you saw, but I also bought a super cool robe there, which is like highlight of my trip. Oh well, other than meeting up with one of my close friends. And
listen, let's all be real here. This is the kind of company in which you can admit that getting a cool LARP outfit is probably better than seeing your friends and family.
I want to like grab it right now, but I don't want to get off camera.
Yeah.
So there's that, and yeah, I've been playing Baldur's Gate recently, because I never finished Baldur's Gate 2. So I know one inside and out like the back of my hand, because that was the one I kind of started on, and the low level D&D is something I'm comfortable with. Mm-hmm. And then going into Baldur's Gate 2, where you're like level 11 to level 15 sort of range, it's like real scary.
Did you play Icewind Dale as well, or have you not played that one?
I couldn't get into Icewind Dale
same way
because there's not really any story. It's just like, here's your 6 guys that you just made, and they don't really interact, and there's not really any like vibes there. Calling this out right now, Baldur's Gate 2 spoilers. It's like 20 years old. If it's spoiler free, I'm sorry.
Whoa, hold on.
But I did not know the personal story quest stuff for Edwin goes into like some gender changing stuff.
Hold on though. Are you playing the original version or the remastered version?
I'm playing the remaster.
That's new. I think that's new.
No,
I think that's
not.
It really isn't? Oh, wow. No. Good job, Baldur's Gate 2.
But it was no, not good job, Baldur's Gate 2.
Oh, damn it.
It is played as like this horrible curse, you know what I mean?
That's so annoying.
And it makes sense for Edwin because he's like straight and white and an asshole.
Okay,
you know,
fair.
And you know, cursed to switch your gender. It's real uncomfortable. I get it.
I just went through an emotional roller coaster there.
Edwin, I understand.
Yeah.
But did not realize it was in there, and it got me by surprise a little bit.
Yeah,
otherwise it's been super good.
I've been also doing some of the Baldur's Gate style CRPG stuff. I was playing through the alpha of Pathfinder Kingmaker, which, if the alpha is any indication from a purely like character relationship standpoint, I'm very excited about the game. I think it's going to be quite cool if they keep going down the direction that they're going on.
I've seen good stuff in terms of what you've been doing, yeah.
I still have no idea how to navigate a game as complicated as Pathfinder, but the computer helps. Having it as a computer definitely helps. Which, I mean, Baldur's Gate, right? Second edition D&D is not a simple game.
Oh no, yeah. By the way, Cloud Kill, close the door, still the best strat for any situation. Just there's a bunch of guys in there. Cloud Kill, close the door.
Dave, is Cloud Kill on the sorcerer spell list in 5th edition?
I don't think we have
it. Should be.
Yeah, just thinking about plans for the future. If you want to, beat the Tomb of Annihilation, just
there are
close the door on the old lich.
No, we totally do. Nice. It's 5th level, so a little bit of a way off.
Yeah. There are a lot of jokes
about cost it.
Oh, that's the problem with fighting in a basement. You know, like the no airflow.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
Just really gas them out.
I think people forget about that when they talk about, like, we have this idea of like a dungeon adventure in D&D and games like it, where you're like, yeah, we just light a torch and head on into this like enclosed space and like run around. But like even a fake underground environment, like Blue Jay, we were talking about this when we were at there was a ride at Disneyland.
Indiana Jones.
The Indiana Jones ride. And you go through these like tunnels and stuff, and I was like, oh, being underground in an enclosed space is actually really uncomfortable.
I mean, like, there were some of because they build the lines in Disneyland to like incorporate into the vibe of the ride, right? So the Indiana Jones stuff is very Temple of Doom or something. I haven't
Mhm.
watched those movies in too long. But a lot of the corridors, whereas you think like 5 feet wide is totally fine for like swinging a sword and having a shield, it's like you would never be able to attack anybody.
No.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. That's the thing I like about Torchbearer, because Torchbearer is like, yo, what up, Dungeon Misery Simulator? It's not fun to be down there. You can see why after several rounds you're like cranky and not about it anymore.
Have any of you been caving?
I went in
no.
one cave one time. It was real dark.
That is terrifying.
Right?
It's
It
really
was
good,
like
but
you
it's
get
very
in deep enough and there's no light at all.
Yeah.
Like dark vision for real though.
Yeah.
one of the most exciting and also the most terrifying things I've ever done is part of that cave I went to is in Wales. There is a section where if it had rained, and it had, you cannot get out of it without ducking under this low bit, which gets flooded.
Right.
So you have to do the go underwater and go.
Oh no.
That's awesome.
In video games, it's like, yeah, this is fine, but in real life,
I think
Sort of.
modern living has taken away our understanding of darkness. And I don't mean that in the metaphor. There's plenty of darkness in modern living, but in the literal sense, like we're so surrounded by light all the time that the idea of being like somewhere purely dark.
That's actually something that has come up to me a lot when I've been LARPing, Adam. Because I'm out in the woods, there's no light anywhere, and like I've got to make my way back to my camp or whatever, and like you're not allowed to flashlight things unless you have specific items and blah blah. But it's like there's so much to do with. I remember this trail because my feet remember it, and I hope to God that shadow over there isn't going to try and murder me.
Yeah. I used to be an astronomy TA, and we would have to go way, way, way out to get night sky photography. And you could still see very super clearly, like all of the lights from the city in one direction, like super, super obvious where any kind of man-made lights were. It's really strange to like try and get away from that, and nowadays it's almost impossible.
Yeah, I think that's one of those things that we just like, because I think about this a lot, and I think we as a group we've talked about this a little bit, the idea of things that in role-playing games we kind of just like forget are there, right? Where you're like, yeah, it's dark, you go in, I light a torch, no problem. But torches like spew noxious smoke everywhere. They're not great for enclosed spaces. You're holding them right in front of your face, so you don't really get like a lot of light ahead of you. Like and the people behind you just get smoked out, right? Like we forget that that's how these things work. And I think light and distance are the other ones, because we can be like, yeah, we spend 10 hours today just marching through the jungle. We traveled 10 miles. And I'm like,
that's insane.
I do not want to walk 10 miles through the jungle. Thank you. That sounds horrible. Yeah.
When you think about it, our characters are badass.
Right. And it's easy to forget, but like being a person in a Dungeons and Dragons type simulation, you would have to be a particular kind of person.
That's why adventurers are adventurers and not commoners.
Yeah,
right?
I think
Like,
because they're crazy. They don't fit into regular society, and that's why they have to be second level
which
wizards.
is why all adventuring parties are full of fucking a mishmash of like weird characters, because they're the people that fit in with each other rather than like, you know, Steve, Ted, and Bob, the commoners on local farm number 3.
Well, and that's why I think that when you're building a campaign of anything, figuring out the characters' connections to one another is so important, because it's not just like, well, we all work at the same office. We're not all part of the same, which I guess makes that a sort of a funny inversion, right? Like that's what makes things like Acquisition Incorporated funny, because it's like, you know, it's flipping that on its ear. But yeah, this is why I think if you're interested in what medieval life is like, and I only read this book because of Burning Wheel. There's a Barbara Tuchman book called A Distant Mirror, which is incredibly dry. Like it's nonfiction. It's super dry. Do not read it if historical analysis sounds boring to you. But if you're interested in what like medieval life was like, it's so good. There's no book better. I really enjoyed it, but also I'm the right kind of dork for that book.
That sounds like the kind of thing I would.
Oh yeah, no, it's good. It's really good. If you want to figure out what it was like.
And Adam, I think you need to say, there has ne'er been a scribed tome as that prithee, etc.
Exactly. I have definitely my fake old English is bad. I need to watch The Witch about 7 or 8,000 more times.
At least like another couple of times.
Read some Chaucer.
Yes. Yeah. Chaucer. Man.
I mean, that's some old ass English.
Yeah. That's true. Dave, not into Chaucer? Not feeling it?
Chaucer's great. What are you talking
There's
about?
Dave.
Chaucer's great.
You said The Witch, and now I just have the Black Phillip song in my head.
Yeah. Now we all have to worship a goat.
Would you like to live deliciously?
God, that movie is so good.
Oh,
While we're recommending things, go watch The Witch.
Scene is so good.
It's so good. Yeah, I think if we ever play Zweihander, I'm gonna just be like, yo, it's like The Witch but with more chaos.
yeah.
It's so good. But yeah,
By the way,
there's so many good YouTube videos about medieval life and about like I shared that one where the guy was talking about how people would have walked differently
Yeah.
with the weird kind of like
Prancy.
prancy because
It's because of the way the shoes work, right?
yeah, I love that stuff. Like people would have potentially walked differently in the medieval ye olde medieval times because soft shoes would mean you would walk on the balls of your feet rather than just flat feet on the ground. I'm about it. I'm about that kind of nerdy crap. Yeah, it's a good stuff. So speaking of rough times in the medieval eras, we are going to we're gonna play some Burning Wheel. Let's warm up the wheel. Let's get it spinning. And we'll douse it in kerosene and we'll light it aflame, but we'll take our time doing it because it's been a few weeks, and I know people have been thinking about their beliefs and instincts, and we wanna get that stuff going. So let's talk about that, shall we? Has anybody got beliefs that are as yet unfinished and that they would like to workshop a little before we start?
I think mine got settled on fairly well.
Yeah, you've got yours squared away.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, cool.
But they're different.
Yeah, do you want to talk about them then?
Sure.
Okay.
My I like changed some verbiage from last time, or just like regular, just non-verbiage, nounage, also adjective-age.
My beliefs are exactly the same as they were last session, but I've changed all the nouns, adjectives, and verbs.
All the edges have been
Right. I
shown.
mean, I think you could
It
make a
still has all
character.
of its conjunctions and prepositions.
Yeah.
Punctuation is all
Composition.
different. They're all written in French now, so you know.
French.
So, I think you could probably make a character whose beliefs are just a Mad Lib, where you just move like, I will get my revenge on noun if it costs me noun. But what are your beliefs now?
I refuse to owe anything to Lodovic. I will get this middle class upstart off my back.
Oh dear.
The power of the nobility comes from its blood. I will provide an heir to the king to secure my hold on him. A queen needs allies. I will gather the queen's inner circle to me. And then my instincts are never allow anyone to treat me below my station. Always redirect violence away from my person. Whenever I meet with a member of the court, recall a piece of gossip about them.
Nice. So
Ooh, I like that.
one to protect you, one to get you in trouble, and another one to make a bunch of rolls. For that last one, I was thinking about this because we talked about it yesterday. I was thinking about this on my way back from getting groceries this morning. This one, you can tell me when you invoke this instinct whether you want me to tell you something about them or whether you want to use court gossip wise to make something up. And when we say this is Alessandra knowing a thing that's already true, but this is Blue Jay as a player using the wise to make up a piece of gossip.
Right. Yeah, we've gone over how wises work, and if I fail the roll, then it's not quite how I wanted it, or it's
you don't
like
know
the
anything.
opposite thing, or I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Cool. Yeah,
I don't
depending
need
on
a
the
seduction
circumstance.
instinct. My seduction is already B5, so
There's always G5. There's always you can go for that.
yeah, gray shade seduction. That's definitely a great idea.
That is a hella good idea.
Gray Shade Seduction is like heroic. You could seduce a tree. Actually, white. I think white shade you would need to, have
white
to
shade
seduce
for a
like
trait.
inanimate objects or things with no.
Yeah, white shade is
Gray shade, you could
you-
seduce your way out of any situation that included other people.
Yeah, white shade is like gray shade. You seduce black. You seduce the guard who's trying to arrest you. Gray, you seduce the demigod that sent the guard. And then
Yeah.
white is you seduce the sword into not being able to hurt you because you're so sexy.
It bends. The steel bends.
That's right. It refuses to harm you. You're too beautiful. Yeah. But very difficult to get there.
Sorry, there's someone at my door.
That's okay. What are your
That's
traits?
weird.
We were just talking about seducing inanimate objects, but what are your traits?
Your lordship, ambitious, well-dressed, independent, cosmopolitan, raven-haired, and jealous, as well as mark of privilege and rapier wit are my die traits.
Excellent. So your lordship particularly will tie in with that first new
With the
instinct.
never let anyone treat me
Because
below my
the
station.
easiest way for me to poke at that instinct is to just have people forget to address you as my
Your
lady.
ladyship.
Your
or my
ladyship.
lady.
Yeah.
I think it says my lady. My
Because that's the
lord.
only one you have. You don't have the higher levels. You haven't.
Not yet. No.
Okay.
How does one go about getting them? If I in game like actually married the king, then would I have a different trait, or would I have to like?
Yeah. So traits are given by the trait vote, but if you married the king, like during the trait vote, there would be no question. Like I think we would all just agree, fictionally, this makes sense. Here you go.
Yeah.
It's not-
says
it's not
your
quite
lordship,
like-
so it would be your ladyship.
Yeah, your ladyship. So it's not quite like Apocalypse World in the sense that, you know, the character sheets
They're
are
not.
prescriptive and descriptive. But yes, like we would, I think, agree as a group that you would get that trait in addition to whatever other things.
Yeah. I mean, because otherwise it would be a wasted
It's-
trait vote.
It's interesting in that you can get traits from other things that happen during the game. You know what? I could
Agatha got Wolverine from corruption.
Well, I could argue that the result of a roll could get you a trait. That could be what's at
think
stake
that's
because
fair.
there are other rules. There are other rules that say like if you get injured, you get traits. Magic can give you traits. That kind
and
of
those are always the result of a roll.
yeah. So I feel like
I mean, but when it comes down to it, my character marrying the king isn't going to happen without me doing rolls.
yeah, totally. Yeah, the result
Exactly.
establishing a belief. I think we could all just say like, okay, yeah, it makes sense that you would have this trait now.
I mean, it's just like you get your hand cut off. You're not going to not have the one hand trait, like as Chad is saying.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah. You don't have to wait until the trait vote for it. I think
Yeah.
it makes sense. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Yeah. So that would be the thing. If you were granted a title that you do not already have, we would find a trait appropriate for it.
Yeah, like what if the king made her the Lord of Horse?
Yes, I guess.
Ah,
You could do
yes.
that.
Titles.
The horse lord.
Yeah. Yeah. Or the Sword Lord or the Star Lord, whatever.
The Sword Lord.
Stag Lord. Just it's fine. Throw Lord at the end of something, and then it's a fantasy title.
Stag Lord's awesome.
Not in my experience. Cool. Okay. Dave, do you have your beliefs and instincts squared away? Have you written the short novellas that are your beliefs?
The Lord.
I think so.
Okay, let's talk about those.
So my first one is the loyalties of the Seed of Silver are divided. I'll convince them to serve with me on overarching affairs. To do so, I need to solidify any good merchant's closest ally, an accountant, which I didn't get a chance to do yet.
So for this belief, I was thinking about this one. I think that there's two unrelated things happening here. I guess I get the like to do so I need an accountant, but I don't see the direct connection between the two.
Okay, I'm going to just delete everything before I need to solidify any good merchant's closest ally, an accountant.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I need an accountant is a good belief. Like I can't handle. I'm growing. The business is growing. I need an accountant. I think that's totally fine. The other bits is more like a Fate Farm style belief on its own. Okay, what's your second belief?
I understand the suffering of the peasants and lowborn. I will work towards bettering their lives through creating opportunities and boosting the economy.
Perfect.
That's my favorite one.
It's great bullshit because it's a meaningless belief, but a great idea. It's the kind of thing that if you were running for office, you would say all the time, but that no one could really nail down how you're going to do it or what you're doing. Yeah, I dig it. Okay.
And finally, nobody gets rich without playing the field. I'll let Lady Corvidae know about my conversation and see if she can provide a counteroffer.
I like it. It's a good belief. I would love to know what the idiom "playing the field" means to Lodovic, given that we probably don't have the thing that the modern idiom is based on, because that's a sports thing, right? It's a sports metaphor.
How old is baseball?
In the Lapis Federation,
How
we have this
old
sport
is
where we hit yon ball with yon stick, and then do we run about the circle?
It's totally.
What about cricket? What about cricket? It would be more like cricket, right?
No, it's a football thing.
Football?
But
It's an English thing.
Not cricket wireless. God damn.
I'm looking it up.
The 16th
No.
century for
No,
cricket.
I'm not looking that up. I don't care how old crickets are.
Soccer?
Origins
It's
of
fine.
playing the field. No, I want to know
3,000
now.
years.
Crickets first evolved in the Mesotriassic.
Okay, well, football, i.e. soccer in America, is 3,000 years old. So
Okay.
playing the field.
It's a horse racing metaphor.
Ooh, horses.
It's a horse racing metaphor. And it means to bet on all other horses in the race other than the one most famous to win. By extension, to date a variety of people rather than making a commitment to one person. So it's totally reasonable that Lodovic could know what playing the field is. That's fine. Horse racing.
I was looking this up earlier, and if we wanted to spend more time, there is contention about where it originates.
Ooh. Well, okay.
That's fine.
Introducing the idiom means you're in charge of it. Where do you want it to be from?
I like it coming from betting in this specific instance more because it both is more money based and also connotations. I thought of him talking about playing the field when he is the person who gets seduced all the time is kind of funny. So
Right. Yeah, you are the field, Lodovic.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I dig it. And also I like the idea of, I mean, when people have lots of money, they often invent recreational activities that involve using that money, like gambling. And I could totally see, like, maybe not horse racing in the Lapis Federation, but like fast ass boats. First one around the horn wins a bag of gold. And this house
Some like really dangerous contemporary windsurfing or something like that.
right, invented by
Like little
pirates, probably. Cool. All right, good. Those are good beliefs. Your instincts.
Okay. The first one is the one I'm still not exactly sure on because I don't know how I want to action it. But at the moment, I have always let my guard down when subject to the attentions or flirtations of beautiful women.
I love this. It's like a Blue Jay wrote a belief, and you're like, I'm just gonna redesign part of my character to help you get that belief.
Okay, but like, how does let your guard down work?
Exactly.
Okay.
That's what I need to nail down.
So you want this instinct to reflect the fact that Lodovic's greatest weakness is being flirted at by beautiful women.
Yes.
So yeah, so like it's not about you engaging in the flirtation, it's the flirtation undermining your ability to think straight.
Yeah.
So I wonder how we could like, because it's something you do instinctively. So
Is it always become distracted because we've let distraction be a? It's not really. Is it distracting? Yes, but is that how I want to phrase it?
It's because it's not like when someone flirts at you, you're just like slack jawed and you don't have to make a steel test or stand and drool.
I mean, is this like, are you giving up a versus test here? If someone were to try and do a seduction roll on you, would you ordinarily have like a will thing or like something versus test?
Well,
and by like saying that you just like let down your guard, are you saying I'm not doing the versus test, you just auto succeed?
Well,
or
I mean, it's not like he's not gonna, because that's mind control, right? Because then someone could just be like, I use seduction to tell you to jump off a bridge. Oh, I auto succeed.
I mean, but if you're saying my character says like yes to that.
No, I think what he's saying is that he doesn't. He maybe should stop and think. Like, are they doing this because they like me, or are they manipulating me? But he doesn't.
Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about
So
why.
is this just fictional positioning then?
I mean, I think I would give an advantage die to anybody trying to seduce Lodovic because of this instinct. But also, this is my opportunity. Because remember, you never have to you don't have to do what an instinct says. It's just there to be to give you Artha when you do it when you shouldn't. So when I'm like, yeah, so she leans in flirtatiously, and you can smell the tamarind of her perfume, and I'm like, cool. So she's like flirting with you. What do? And you're just like, I just like bat my eyelashes and like listen, instead of being like, I don't know. I lean back and I kind of like, So I think the idea here is that, yeah, it just makes it easier to seduce you. But yeah, it'll be my job to just have people flirt with you that you shouldn't be flirting with, and then you can fall for it. Basically. Yeah, I think that makes sense. There's like a mechanical thing, but it's also, this is just like, it's like your first one, Alessandra. It's never allow anyone to treat me below my station. It's basically like always allow people to flirt with me. Like just just get it.
You're gonna listen to the flirt, but you're not necessarily gonna listen to the content of the flirt.
Yeah. Okay. And what are your other two instincts?
Cool. Other two, much simpler. Always have cash on hand and never go anywhere without Oberon.
Okay. Cool. Yep. Those are good. And your traits?
My traits are self-satisfied, idealistic, materialistic, stocky, forward, affinity for business, and pennywise.
Nice. Okay, cool. All right. Let's take a look at Joy, because Joy has some new beliefs.
I have a new belief.
Okay.
So I have Booker's time is up. I'm going to end his life, and doing so, send a message to all of Ekaterina's debtors.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have Ekaterina and her establishment of valuable resources. I'll secure my alliance with her.
So your first two beliefs,
kind of the same, yeah.
Yeah, they're the same. I think they're the same belief.
I think they
phrased different ways.
Yeah, let me. I'll redo the second one. We'll get back to that.
Okay. Can I suggest?
Of course.
Can I suggest for the second belief that has something to do with everyone's least favorite ludist?
Oh, you want an Emilio belief?
I mean, you did say you want to turn him around, right? Like,
I can figure out an Emilio belief. For sure.
Like it could be like Emilio's a useful idiot, and I will convince him that we're friends.
I think it's gonna be. Every upstart needs an accomplice. At least Emilio's not a total moron.
Right.
I'll get him working with me.
Right. Yeah. I'll because right now you are still pretty like, I don't like you, you don't like me, but we're gonna like work this out. But yeah, you can have a belief about being like, yeah, he's my dumb sidekick, even if he doesn't know it yet.
Emilio will be my sidekick, even though he doesn't know it yet.
Yeah, I like it.
Perfect. And Truth was a friend. I'll figure out what he wants and get it for him, ingratiating myself and securing his friendship once again.
Excellent. Okay, cool.
My instincts are exactly the same as they've been since this game began.
Mm-hmm.
When anyone speaks of God, laugh. Always keep a knife where no one can see it, and confront every boast with an ugly truth.
Mm-hmm.
Traits are off-kilter, scapegoat, ashen, eldritch, broken, numb, dreamer, lame, aura of innocence, keen taste, and the fool.
Fantastic. So the goal here is to make this the session that we put Booker in the ground.
Yes,
and
this is the
happens.
session where I'm gonna fucking kill that guy or not.
I was gonna say, so this is where all the cards are on the table. So
I have pushed all the chips into the middle. We're just gonna see what happens.
Time to figure it out. Okay, great. Cool. And then meanwhile, elsewhere in the city, Agatha of the Dark Woods. Let's talk about where you're at.
What up? Hello.
Hello. So what are your beliefs?
I must be free of this cage. I'll send a message to whatever friends I might have left in Carpathia. Survival is what matters. I will turn this sister's history to my purposes and use her to secure my continued survival, because I now know that Sister Sufferance has some like weird cultural heritage stuff that I can exploit.
Yeah, the two of you have some outsider lineage that you share.
Mm-hmm. And then the spirits of shadow know the goings on of this place. I will seek their knowledge, so I do not remain ignorant. And I never put something back in the wrong place. I always speak truth to power, and I have an open instinct, which I'm saving for a rainy day.
Okay, sure.
And then my traits are always in the way, well-traveled, spooky, inscrutable, respectful of women, lupine, reclusive, vindictive, misunderstood, fey-blooded, blind, gifted, spirit familiar, essence of earth, unsteady, rat speak, forked tongue, Wolverine.
And the winner for most traits goes to. It's good. It's good to have traits. Okay, cool. So you are loaded up on traits and ready to get the hell out of here.
God, I want to get out of here.
The first trait is really interesting because I'll send a message to whatever friends I might have left, and I'm like, who though?
But who would that be?
Who?
Well, it's someone.
But whom? Good
the
old.
belief says there must be someone.
There must
or
be.
There is no one.
There must be. So we'll see. We'll see if you can turn up a friend. Cool. All right. So good new belief set up for everybody, and we are ready to roll. So let's begin. Let's give our former jester a chance to put this plan in motion.
Okay.
Where are you when we fade back in?
So
on
I have to
Joy?
get the poison from what's his butt there.
So are you at Saltpeter's?
I think I'm
apothecary?
like, yeah, it's like the
Okay.
time to pick up the poison.
So we
and I'm
fade
there.
in. We fade on you and Emilio in the shop.
Mhm.
And I think Emilio is looking around, and he has the first line of the episode, and he says to you, he's like, I don't like it in here. This place is giving me the creeps.
Just hold your breath. You'll be all right.
He squints at you. He's like, it's not the smell. And he like bumps into something like a taxidermied bird or something. He's like, oh, God.
You break it, I'm not paying for it.
He puts his hands up and he's like, I don't even recognize half of this stuff, let alone whether it's worth anything.
Listen, if it really bothers you, you can wait outside.
What, in the
I'll
cold?
talk-
No, I don't think so. Besides, and he squints at you, I don't trust you alone. What are we doing here?
Emilio, please, don't trust me. My heart hurts.
He's
Saltpeter, are you
just
here?
shaking his head. He knows your shit. So yeah, he's like, what are we even doing in here?
We are, my dear friend, collecting the thing we need to perform the task that will get you your opportunities. We can't do it without this.
So the two of you are kind of like focused on each other, and you hear the sound of shuffling or rustling as someone emerges from the back, and you turn, but instead of Saltpeter, you see a young person. They're wearing simple gray like robes. The robes and their skin are almost the same color. Their hands, their fingers terminate in dark marked like ink or stain. They have their head shaved, and they're just sort of like looking at you with the wide amber colored eyes. They've just emerged from the back.
Not
You'd put this person at, if you had to guess, like 13 or 14 maybe.
yeah,
Like
younger.
not quite an adult. But yeah, they're shorter than you, kind of willowy.
Not who I expected, but do you work for Saltpeter?
They nod, and they say quietly, I have served the master some time. He isn't here.
Joy sighs and, walks towards this person if there's like space to move. I'm not sure of the exact size of this place, as always.
Yeah, it shifts around. Sometimes it seems
Yeah.
wider than...
The shelves move.
Yeah.
But like I go over to where this person would be like behind a counter or something, is what I'm imagining.
Yeah, there's a glass display case that Emilio is squinting at as the two of you approach.
And I lean on the counter and say, I'm waiting for a potion to be done. Perhaps he's left a name, something.
They nod and they say, I recognize you, Joy. The master has left something for you. a moment. And they put their hand up to just be like, hang on. And they go out into the back. And Emilio looks at you and says, two Stygians in one place. I don't think I've ever seen that before. I mean, to be fair, I don't think I've ever seen two Stygians.
Yes, well, you'll find here in the city proper, Emilio, that there are Stygians all over. It's just a matter of looking in the lowest possible place, as it was in the castle.
He looks around and he's like, nothing proper about this place.
Fair enough.
So while he gets distracted with some kind of taxidermied monkey that he's trying to figure out if it's alive or not, and you could see him like he wants to poke it, and then he's like, I don't, nervously. While he distracts himself with that, the Stygian returns from the back of the shop, holding a glass like bulb with a cork, some stoppered in it, and yeah, they hold it out to you.
I take it.
Okay. So they say, careful. Very potent, that.
The kind of potent where if I touch it, there's going to be a problem, or the kind of potent where I shouldn't drink it?
I would suggest avoiding either if you can. The fumes are dangerous as well.
Perfect. Good. Very helpful. Dangerous enough not to spill. Good. Just what I need. Now, I don't think I want to be taking things from someone I haven't introduced myself to. Even though you know my name, I don't know you, my dear friend.
And they shake their head and they say, I am friend to no one and have no name to give you.
Huh. Tragic. Well, I hope that your service here is not chafing.
No, it pleases me.
I'm sure we'll see each other again. At the very least, you'll see me. For now, I have things to attend to with this specifically. Tell your master, she says, like, really, ugh.
Mm-hmm.
Because she thought this guy was like a crazy old fucking alchemist, you know?
Uh-huh.
Him owning a Stygian is like, ugh.
Yeah.
You know, like,
right.
really,
It's like it's chafing.
like,
It's chafing
really
on
burning
you.
her. Like really burning her. Yeah. Tell him that if this works, there will be some very good repeat business, I'm sure. As for now, Emilio?
Yeah, they just look at you with these big doe eyes.
Emilio, we have places to go.
And Emilio looks over looks over at you and gives you a look like anywhere but here.
And so we go.
Okay. So the two of you leave and go outside. And how much have you told Emilio? Does Emilio know that this is like?
I feel like Emilio doesn't know that we're supposed to kill someone yet.
Right.
I don't remember telling him this was an assassination. I told him I needed to see this guy,
Okay.
and that I was going to go and try and talk to him, and he thought that was a crazy idea.
Right. Yeah. So you come outside, and Emilio's pulling his cloak around his shoulders, pulling his hat down over his ears, and he looks at you as the snow is kind of swirling around, and it's nighttime. And he says, "So what was that all about? What's in the bottle?"
Well, Emilio, I say, like, again, this is probably around the same, like, trying to keep something up over my face and, like, you know, so on. Well, Emilio, now that you're in, you might as well be in. We have to kill that man. The man we met, the man you brought me to, he has to die. And this will do that perfectly. And once I have done that, then Ekaterina will appreciate.
And he laughs. He's like, "So, you're an assassin now? Because I remember the time you tried to assassinate me and it didn't go so well for you."
I don't think you particularly did very well either.
Oh, I've never claimed to be an assassin. I'm just a ludist. Or I
We
was.
make whatever way we can, Emilio, and they don't have a big call for jesters out here.
And he shakes his head and he says, "Well, if you're gonna try and kill Yorick Booker, I don't want any part of it. I would like to hang on to my life and my limbs." And
It's too late. It's too late, Emilio.
he like squints at you. He's like, "What? What do you mean it's too
Guards.
late?"
The guard I talked to, the guard that saw me, saw you enter with me. You're in this, whether you want to be or not. Too late.
No. I showed you. That's not how this works.
That's not what I'm gonna say if they catch me. If they catch me, I'm gonna sing like a bird about how this was all your plan.
So let's see how he reacts. Let's have you make a roll.
Sure.
Like you're trying to blackmail him.
I mean, it's kind of falsehood. I just want him to believe me.
You could. I mean,
There's an extortion skill, isn't there?
well, extortion is for getting money out of people.
Okay.
You're blackmailing him. You're absolutely blackmailing him. And I think that falls under like intimidation is to like
Ugly
scare
truth?
him. Well, it can't be both, right?
No.
You're I think like if you're lying, it would be because you're not actually intending to.
I'm not
steal
gonna
him.
give him up. Yeah, but I do want
You're
him
pretending that you could be
I
a
do
snitch,
want him
but you
to
don't
believe
intend to
that I
snitch.
would be a fucking snitch.
Yeah, I mean he believes that. That's a believable
Yeah.
lie, you little rat.
Yeah.
Well, let me take a quick look at it. It's not persuade. It's definitely like you're blackmailing for sure, but there's no skill for that specifically. I don't think
There's an extortion skill.
It's for money.
right. But extortion is different. Extortion is threatening friends and enemies so they pay you to stay safe and healthy. Extortion is like
what about falsehood and then forking something? I feel like there's like a fork in there.
yeah. I think falsehood is probably fine for this because the lie is you're in this already and I'm gonna bust your ass about it. It would be like forking. You could fork intimidation if you had it, but
Can I fork persuade?
Yeah. Persuade is persuade is the laborer of social conflict.
Yeah.
But you're not threatening, right? This isn't.
No, I'm not
you're not threatening him.
I'm just telling
You're just
him how
laying
it's
it
gonna
out.
be.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna torture me, and I'm gonna tell them that it was all your fault.
Yeah. I don't think that this is. If you were spinning it a different way, I could see it being intimidation, but I don't feel like this is intimidating. This is just trying to get him to realize, like, yo,
Like you best be on board, son.
it's an ugly. You're treating it like an ugly truth, but it's a lie, so it's falsehood.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the will of
I have no idea if the guards saw him or not.
No, you're lying. You're straight up lying, but you're pretending that it's an ugly truth. So they're very close to one another, but not the same in this case. So Emilio's will is 3. What's your intent? Because we figured there's a task, but
My intent is that I want him to like assist me as an accomplice would assist someone.
right.
You
So
know?
the idea here is that he's like he'll help you kill Booker because
if he
if he doesn't, he's
and I
already
fail,
caught up in this. Okay.
If he doesn't and I fail, then he's gonna get consequences anyway.
Okay, so let me take a look at circles real quick because I think he still gets the bonus because he hates your fucking guts so
Oh my
much.
god, there's no way I'm gonna succeed.
I think he does.
I think he gets
Fuck.
it, but that's okay. It's fine.
I just need a fucking one falsehood at a routine falsehood test.
You can-
Fucking
you can-
hell.
You should have
fork.
lied to that Stygian.
You can fork up here. So yeah, I think it's what is it +2 for a person who doesn't like you?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So it's ob 5.
Oh my god.
What's your
It's fucking impossible.
What's your falsehood?
There's no way I can. I have 2. I need a fucking routine
Okay,
test.
so
to
you've
move
got
it up.
2. You got 2. Let's talk about forks. So you're forking persuade, so that's 3.
Yeah.
Do you have any other skills that you can fork in here?
No, not really. I mean, I have ugly truth. I have poisons.
God, like it almost never happens. It almost never happens, but I kind of feel like you can fork ugly truth into this falsehood because you're
Yeah.
faking that it is true. Like and I think I think there's
regardless of how
situational
many-
there's
regardless of how
situational
many
shit, right?
forks I
Like
fucking forking. Wait, it's a believable lie though.
I think it is. Yeah.
So I get advantage for that.
Yeah, falsehood is barefaced lying, but ugly truth is let's see. Blah, blah, blah. Sorry, I should have looked this up before I interjected.
I think the thing about why this is ugly truth is because he thinks it's already true.
Yeah, he thinks it's true. But
Strip a situation or argument to its bare naked core.
Yeah, it's a bit weird because we all know as an audience that this is bullshit. But I think in terms of the test, I think ugly truth
and the way that Joy
Yeah, I think it's
does
reasonable.
it
I think it's
feels
reasonable
like
to fork
it.
that in.
Yeah.
So
I
you're
mean, it's completely reasonable that you change your mind and you do squeal on him too. So
right.
Yeah.
So it's five dice
So yeah, I got 5 dice
against 5.
Hey, Elf.
Yeah. What?
Do you have?
I don't have shit, Dave.
You don't have any corruption.
I mean, I have corruption, but I don't want to do what you did and corrupt out of this game, so I'm trying not.
No. But you should definitely spend a fate to use corruption to help you because you're doing a murder.
It is a corruptive act. You don't have to. This is obviously still your choice. You're 5 on 5. You said you needed a routine test, right?
You go up to 6. That would make it a routine test.
Would it?
6 on 5 isn't routine. That's
It's
still
not
challenging.
routine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Uh,
you should do it anyway, though.
I'm gonna spend a fate point. I'll use the corruption.
Yeah, it's
Sure, we'll go to 6. And then I'll use another fate if I need to re-roll something, and we'll find out.
All right. So yes, the powers of corruption are helping you here. They're whispering to Emilio like, "You're fucked already, dude. You might as well just help murder this guy."
You might as well just help.
God, I cannot wait until Emilio is the guy on the fucking chopping block for this. I cannot. You're like, become my friend, or I'm going to throw you under the proverbial bus. So, all right. So you're 6 on 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
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 Yeah, that's what I
got
fucking
2.
thought.
You got 2. One of them is a one
Oh,
of them is,
6.
so.
Fucking useless ass test for me again.
Ooh.
Okay.
So that's 3.
No.
That's 4.
Can't do it.
So
Fucking
close.
Didn't make it.
All right. Well, mark the difficult
late.
test if you don't have it already.
It
filled.
doesn't matter. I have like.
Okay. Well, mark
1,000
that you spent fate.
tests.
So here's what I think happens. It's not that he just responds the way Emilio always does. So when you're like, I might squeal, you find yourself pushed up against the window of the shop, right? There's a rattling, maybe something gets knocked over inside the window, and he shoves you up against the window and snarls at you, right? He's like, "Listen to me, you little fuck," and he gets right up in your face.
I'm doing this.
Yeah, and so he's got you by the cloak, and he's like shoves you up, and he's like, it's not that he doesn't believe you, right? He agrees, like whatever you just said, like he knows he's in it now, but he's not like, okay, fine, let's do this together. He's like, I hate you for doing this to me. So he's like, yeah, listen to you, little fuck, and he shoves you up against the wall, and he says, he's like, I have nothing to gain from killing Yorick Booker. In fact, I could have been friends with Yorick Booker. I've got connections, all right? And if you're screwing me over for this, and he like looks around, and maybe somebody's walking by, like looking at you, like, and he's like, "What the fuck are you looking at?" And she kind of like looks away and walks off.
So Emilio's really close to me at this point. Like when I'm pushed over, and I'm like, first of all, Emilio, this close, you gotta buy me dinner first. Second, I'm holding a very potent, deadly poison in my pocket. Don't fucking jostle me, you idiot.
So when you say that, he takes it from you. So he's got you with one hand, and he like pats you down aggressively till he finds it, and you can jump in and say if you want to do something here.
No, I'm gonna fucking stop him for sure.
Okay, yeah, because he's like, obviously if you have a potent poison, you're too much of an idiot to carry it around. So he's gonna like, oh, let me take care of that. So what do you do?
I sleight of hand it out of wherever he finds it.
Right, of course. That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let's have you roll.
Okay. So what do I?
Let me see. Sleight of hand. It's like so the thing. It's like Christmas ornament size, like that like
yeah. It's
size,
like a bulb.
It's a glass bulb. Yeah, with
sure.
a little like cork in the top. Like
Tris, side note, I know you're in chat saying punch him in the throat. If I had any skill to punch him in the throat, I would have, but
yeah, you'd have to escalate this right to knifing him, and that's pretty serious. Yeah. I will say this, like breaking the bottle is not like on the table right now. Like that's not really where it's at. Yeah. I just wanted him to take it from you and be like, well, I'm in charge of this murder if we're gonna do a murder. Okay, so sleight of hand. If you succeed, he can't find it, and you just do your tricks. Where do you want to make it like, haha, I got the poison, you can't have it, like, and make him give up, or do you want him not to be able to find it?
I mean, the idea is that he'll find it, but he won't get to it before I do.
Right. Okay.
Somehow.
Sure.
Every time for the 3 or 4 times he'll try. You know what I mean? And then
Okay. Let's
it'll be
call
like,
it.
You're not getting it. You're never gonna get it.
It's not really opposed because he doesn't really know where it is and you do. So to like play keep away with him, let's call it. Yeah, it's obtuse. It's not even pickpocketing. It's just you knowing where it is, getting it away from him too fast, like pulling something out of your pocket. And the thing is, your natural instinct here is to juggle it, right? Like you're used to like being entertaining and pulling stuff out of hidden pockets. So, yeah. So obtuse sleight of hand. If you fail, I think he snatches it away from you.
Sure. If I succeed, I keep it. However,
yeah, and if you succeed, he can't have it in this
face obtuse. Roll the bones.
There
and
you go.
We're good to go.
So what does that look like? So he's like, what? Give me that, and like
so it basically like as soon as he starts rummaging in my pockets and like holding me with one hand and trying to like pat me down with the other, I've got 2 free hands.
Yeah.
So instead of like trying to push him away, I'm doing this thing where it's like passing it around my back or like picking it out of my pouch and then like moving it across, and then in the end I'm holding it in front of his face like, is this the fucking thing you want?
Right.
I don't think you want it.
So he's let you go because he's using both hands to try to like pat you down. This all takes like a second, and then you have it in front of him. You're like, is this what you're looking for? And he's like breathing a little hard, and he looks at it, and he says, God, what does he say? He sees it and he says, where did you get the money to buy something like that anyway?
I told you I have friends. Friends I'm going to introduce you to if you cooperate with me instead of being such a fucking problem.
And he scowls at...
It's on fucking problem that she takes the bulb of poison and does the hand flip and it's gone.
Yeah, you make it disappear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like deck of cards style. It's just gone.
Yeah. So he blinks a couple of times when you do that. And his like, eyelashes sort of freeze over. And he says, I don't care if you get yourself killed. I don't even care if you kill Yorick Booker, but I do care if you fucking snitch on me. I'm not going to jail. I've been to jail. I don't want to go back.
Ooh, backstory. Helios been to jail.
And he puts a finger in your face and he says, I'm a respectable musician now. All right. And I intend to get back to that place. And he like lowers his hand and he looks at you and he says, but I can't very well leave you alone, can I? Because as soon as you fail at this, and you will fail by yourself, I'm going to have Yorick Booker's men climbing up my ass. And I'm not interested in that either. So it looks like I'm going to have to keep an eye on you until you do whatever idiotic thing that you need to do. And if you get yourself killed in the process, great. All the better for me. But until then, I'm not going anywhere. And he takes like a step closer to you and he says, we're going to be the best of friends, Joy.
How close is he to me?
Like he's doing that thing where he's leading with his chest, and you kind of have you have the window kind of behind you. So
I've got my free hands. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna give him a little like boop on the nose with a finger, like as he like moves forward.
Okay. Yeah, and he kind of like flails at his face, which gives you a chance to slip away from him if you want.
Yeah, just like get away from the wall, sort of thing.
Yeah, and I think he turns and watches after you with a snarl. And what do you do?
And I go, well, you won't have to wait around long, my musical companion. We're going to do this tonight. Right away. Get it out of the schedule, so to speak. And you're talking about being a respectable musician? Well, this is me trying to make myself somewhere to be. You understand? The castle was my everything, and it is gone. So, this is the reality. Face it. Or yeah, you'll end up with Booker's men all the way up your ass. I'll make sure of it. I'll scream your name louder than I've ever screamed anything, and you've heard me. I can scream loud.
Yeah, and I think you're being loud, and there are people like you're not in like a good neighborhood, but there are a few people around that are kind of like staring now. And he's like, okay, just shut the fuck up for 5 seconds. Look, and he looks around. And he's like, do you have? And he like shivers and he pulls. He's like, can we talk about this inside?
Sure.
And I think he looks across the street and there's like a tavern, and he like grabs you and he's like, "Come on!" And the two of you, he pulls you into the tavern, where he can interrogate you about what your plan is.
Yeah, and I'll happily tell him because
yeah.
he's an accomplice now.
Excellent. Okay,
So-
cool. Well, let's take a break. We'll use that as our intro scene. We'll take a break here, and we'll come back and we'll catch up with the rest of the characters, and then you can tell Emilio all about your plan, and then
Yes.
carry it out. We can do the Emilio and Joy go on a murder mission. Oh my God, I can't wait. This is fantastic.
You told me the vapors were poisonous, and it gave me such a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
I got a throwing skill. Is all I gotta say.
It's true. All right, stick around, everybody. We'll be back. We got lots more Burning Wheel coming at you right after this.